Hi, welcome to Carver County Library's virtual story time. I'm Jennifer and I'm glad you're joining me to share songs and stories. Let's start with our welcome song. We'll sing, "Come on in, it's story time, story time, story time. Come on in, it's story time, we're happy that you're here. Sit right down for story time, story time, story time. Sit right down for story time, we'll have a lot of fun. Settle in for story time, story time, story time. Settle in for story time, we're ready to begin." We'll begin with our letter of the day. Let's see what it is. Oh, do you know what letter that is? It sounds like F. It's an F. Can we wiggle our fingers and we'll trace it? All right, we're going to go down and across and across. Good job. Let's wiggle our fingers again and go down and across and across. Does this picture give you a hint of something that might start with a F sound? It's a frog. What does our frog say? Ribbit, ribbit. Does this give you a hint of anything else that might start with the letter F? Our fingers that we just wiggled. And our faces. How about what's in your shoes and socks? Are your feet inside your shoes and socks? Can you think of anything else that starts with our letter F? Well, I'm glad we have friends and family joining us for story time and food. And you know what? All of our stories today are on a farm. Yeah. And so we're going to have stories set on a farm today with our letter F. And what kind of animals do you think might be on a farm? Let's see. Oh, we might have a duck. What's our duck say? Quack, quack. What other animals might be on that farm? We might have a horse. What's our horse say? Neigh, neigh. What other animals can you think of that might be on a farm? We might have a pig. What's our pig say? Oink, oink. What other animals? There's lots of animals on the farm. How about a hen? Maybe you said chicken. A hen is a girl chicken, and you might say a rooster, and that would be a boy. Well, our story today is about the little red hen. And this is a different version of the folk tale. And so the little red hen went outside, and usually she eats seeds and grass and some bugs. She looks around, bok, 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 and goes peck, 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 peck. And sometimes she eats worms. Oh, would you eat a worm? No. But she was happy, and she ate some seeds, peck, 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 and some grass and bugs. But she decided, I want something different to eat. And she looked around and looked around, and she saw a big giant tree. Can your arms be the branches in our tree? And we have the leaves, and in with the leaves and the branches were juicy red apples. And she said, oh, I love applesauce. Does anyone else out there like applesauce? It's one of my favorites. And she said, I'm going to make some applesauce. I wonder if anyone would help me. So she asked the animals on the farm, will you help me pick the apples? And we can make applesauce and we'll all share it? And that duck said, no. And that horse said, no. And the pig said, no way. We want to play. So the hen still wanted to eat some applesauce. So she picked all the apples, took them home, and washed them. Then she got out her cookbook and looked at the recipe, and it had directions on how to make applesauce. And the first step was peel all the apples. Well, she had lots of apples. Maybe someone will help me peel all these apples. So she asked the animals on the farm, will you help me peel all the apples and then we can make applesauce and share it? What do you think that duck said? Maybe Duck changed his mind. No. How about Horse? Horse said no. How about that little pig? No way. We want to go play. So Little Red Hen carefully peeled all the apples herself. The next step in the recipe said chop up all the apples in small parts. Oh, there were lots of apples. Maybe the other animals would help. So she asked them, will you help me chop up all the apples and we can make some applesauce and share? It'll be delicious. And that duck said, no. What do you think that horse said? No. And do you remember what Piggy said? No way. We want to go play. And so the Little Red Hen still wanted applesauce. So she chopped up all the apples in little bits and put them in a pot with some water and some cinnamon on the stove. And she had to wait till the water bubbled up and boiled and got hot. And then, when all the apples were cooked, they still needed to be mashed. And she thought, there's a lot of apples to mash. I wonder if someone will help me. So she said, will you help me mash up all the apples so we can make applesauce and share it? It'll be delicious. And that duck said what? No. How about that horse? No. And the pig said, no way, we want to go play. So the Little Red Hen got a masher and mash all the apples. And then she scooped some applesauce out into a bowl, and it smelled delicious. She had to wait till it cooled a little bit, and all the other animals smelled that delicious applesauce, and they came to her house and said, can I have some applesauce? And the Little Red Hen said, I will share with everybody. Who helped me pick apples? Who helped me peel apples? Who helped me cut apples? Who helped me mash apples? Well, the Little Red Hen was the only one who'd done all that stuff, so she ate the delicious applesauce. And then she saw all her friends, and she said, you know what? There's still some apples on that tree. We could all go out together and pick those apples and make some more applesauce and share it. Would you like to do that? And they said yes. And that's what they did. And what you can do at home is retell this story and ask, do you remember what happened? What happened next? And maybe in your version at home, you'll make some tacos or ice cream sundaes. And when you retell those stories, that helps with comprehension and vocabulary, and it's a lot of fun to share those stories with your family. Well, we have these animals on a farm. We have duck, horse, chicken, Little Red Hen, and pig. Do you think they live on Old MacDonald's farm? I bet they do. Can you sing along with me and we'll sing about Old MacDonald? Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had a duck, E-I-E-I-O, with a quack, quack here and a quack, quack there, here a quack, there a quack, everywhere a quack, quack. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had a horse, E-I-E-I-O, with a neigh-neigh here and a neigh-neigh there, here a neigh, there a neigh, everywhere a neigh-neigh. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a pig, E-I-E-I-O, with an oink oink here and an oink oink there, here an oink, there an oink, everywhere oink oink. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a hen, E-I-E-I-O, with a cluck cluck here and a cluck cluck there, here a cluck, there a cluck, everywhere a cluck cluck. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Could there be some other animals on the farm? Maybe there is a sheep. What's our sheep say? Ba, ba. And on that farm he had a sheep, E-I-E-I-O, with a ba-ba here and a ba-ba there, here a ba, there a ba, everywhere a ba-ba. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And what about our cow? What's our cow say? moo, moo. And on that farm he had a cow, E-I-E-I-O, with a moo moo here and a moo moo there, here a moo, there a moo, everywhere a moo moo. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Well, thank you. You did a great job listening to that story and singing. Let's stand up and get some wiggles out at home. Make sure you have some room to move your hands around. We're going to do the hokey pokey. You put your hands in, you put your hands out, you put your hands in, and you shake them all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Do you have your feet ready? You put your feet in, you put your feet out, you put your feet in, and you shake them all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Can you pat your head? We're going to put your head in, you put your head out, you put your head in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Now we're going to go from your head to your feet and put your whole body in. You put your body in, you put your body out, you put your body in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. All right, have a seat, get settled in. I want to share one more story with you that takes place on a farm. Well, in this story, a farmer is going to plant a seed in the dirt. And so he's going to take the seed and put it here, and boom! Are we going to have a great big tree? No, we have to wait a while. Do we need anything else? Just put the seed in and we're done? We might need some water, yeah. And some sun. Well, that farmer, he did a great job. He planted the seed in the dirt and he watered it and the sun came out. He even pulled some weeds. And a lot of our plants, when they grow, we see them come up, 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 and the roots go down into the ground. But there's a few vegetables like carrots and potatoes and turnips, and all you see is a little part above. And all the stuff we eat is way down below where we can't see it. So the farmer just sees this tiny green part out of the dirt, and all the stuff is underground. And we can't see how big this giant turnip is. So the farmer decided it's time to go and pick this turnip. And so he goes out and he thinks, oh, there's a little tiny turnip. And he pulls. Doesn't move. And he pulls. It doesn't move. So he says, I'm going to need some help. Maybe it's a little bit bigger. So he calls his wife and he says, will you come help me pull this? I think we have a bigger turnip. And so she says, I'll help on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, pull. Oh my goodness. We must have a medium-sized turnip. What do you think? They don't know how big it is. Oh, they're going to need some more help. So they call their daughter and they say, will you come help us pull? I think we've got a big turnip. And on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, they pulled. Oh, it didn't move. Oh, we're going to need some more help. So they called the dog. Here you go, come here. And the dog came running over and grabbed hold of the daughter. And on the count of 3, they 1, 2, 3, they pulled. Oh, a little dirt moved. And they could see a little bit of the turnip. Oh my goodness, Dad, this must be a huge turnip. We're going to eat it forever, but we're going to need some more help. So they called the kitty cat. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. And the kitty came running over to help and grabbed the dog's tail. And on 3, 1, 2, 3, they pulled. Oh, this must be huge. I wonder if it's as big as a pumpkin. We need more help. And so a mouse was running by in the field, and the mouse said, I'll come help. And they said, on 3, we're all going to pull. 1, 2, 3, pull. And it wiggled a little bit. Oh, Are we ever going to be able to eat this turnip? How are we going to be able to get it out of the ground? Oh, could everyone at home help us? Could you help us pull so we can get this turnip out? On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, pull! Oh my goodness! It finally came out. It was an enormous turnip. Oh, thank you so much for helping. I'm glad you weren't like all the animals on the Little Red Hen's farm, or we'd never get this giant turnip out of the ground. And so the farmer, the farmer's wife, the daughter, the dog, the cat, and the mouse all went home to cook and eat that giant turnip. We have one last song. We're going to plant one of my favorite foods. I love to eat corn on the cob. And so here we go. We will plant that seed in the dirt for the corn, and it's going to come up and we'll see it growing. And so we'll sing, the farmer plants the seed, the farmer plants the seed. Hi-ho the dairy-o, the farmer plants the seed. Well, we learned we aren't done yet. We need some rain. The rain begins to fall. The rain begins to fall. Hi-ho the dairy-o, the rain begins to fall. Is that it? Do we need more? Oh, I'm glad you're here to help me, because you're right. We do need the sun. The sun begins to shine. The sun begins to shine. Hi-ho the dairy-o, the sun begins to shine. And with that seed and the dirt and the sun and the rain, oh my goodness, that plant begins to grow. The plant begins to grow. The plant begins to grow. Hi-ho the dairy-o, the plant begins to grow. And then it turns into one of my favorite things, corn. All right, let's all help pick the corn. We pick the corn. We pick the corn. Hi-ho the dairy-o, we pick the corn. And then you can fix it however you like. Maybe you like some butter, some salt, some cheese. And the best part, we get to eat what we grew. We eat the corn. We eat the corn. Hi-ho the dairy-o, we eat the corn. Well, thank you for helping me plant and helping that farmer get that giant turnip out of the dirt. And I bet if you were on the farm with the little red hen, you would have helped her too make some applesauce. So thanks for sharing some songs and stories with me today. We'll do our goodbye song. We'll say, now it's time to say goodbye, say goodbye, say goodbye. Now it's time to say goodbye. I'll see you all next time. Thanks for joining me and sharing songs and stories.